Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the real Cut My Music Wrestling. It's your boy, the Black Patriot, once again bringing you the dopest wrestling content on the net because wrestling is my number one passion and wrestling is my number one priority. Yeah. Now that the introductions are out of the way, remember, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. It's a small thing for you, but for me, it means the world, and it means the world to the channel. Hitting that like button, let the algorithm know that you did enjoy the content you just viewed, and it's going to put me in rotation. It's going to help me reach other like-minded individuals, people that are passionate about this crazy sport called professional wrestling. And I'm going to be here. I will always be here for you, the Black Patriot, the real Cut My Music Wrestling. And I'm doing my Raw review as usual. I do a Raw SmackDown review every week. And in the last few weeks, I've been trying to give Raw the benefit of the doubt. I've been giving them C. A C is average, mid. These C's are the kind of content that WWE has been giving us. So, like I've been saying, I don't expect much from WWE. I'm telling you, if you want to experience it and view it and go in this the best way you can possibly come out with any modicum of enjoyment is expect the worst. Turn your brain off. Don't expect much. Just get ready for mediocrity. And if you accept that, then theoretically you could go into these shows and you can have a good time because you're just like, you know what, forget it. It is what it is. I'm just going to accept whatever they give me. That's what Triple H wants you to do. Don't be a critic. Stop watching as a critic. Watch as a fan. Don't question it. Don't criticize it. Just accept whatever we going to give you. And that is the mindset that I've been taking into these shows and reviewing them. They've been very mid, very mediocre. The highest I could give them is a C. But tonight, this Raw absolutely takes the cake of being dull, of being boring, of being mid. Absolutely nothing happened. No storylines were progressed. All the matches were transparent, like you already know what's going to happen. Predictable, just bland, just unwatchable, unplayable, unpalatable. I fell asleep on it the first time I was watching it and I wasn't tired. So that was boredom sleep, yo. That joint just put me completely to bed, yo. A lot of people on the show not wrestling when they could be wrestling. There were only 4 matches. Like, come on. Only 4 matches? The main event was like 30 some minutes and it was boring and it was overbooked. It was ridiculous. The only good match was the women's match, the fatal 4-way. But the same thing with that match, where it had solid action. It wasn't too long. The pacing was good. It was predictable. You already knew who was going to win. And this is where we at with this program. And this is why I've always said that Triple H does not know what he's doing. He obviously was not paying attention when Vince McMahon was in there. You know he was there. You know he was behind the scenes with Vince, but he obviously was not paying attention. This man has gotta be the worst booker ever, yo. And for us to be so happy, you gotta remember when Vince was forced to step down and Triple H took over the promotion, we thought this was going to be a dawning of a new era. Boy, have we been let down, because this is probably the worst Raw that I've covered since I started covering it. It's been a few weeks now and I've been on this YouTube kick. I just started, and this is the absolute worst episode of Raw ever. It was just so dry. It was so boring. And people paid to see this. There are fans in attendance that paid for tickets, yo. So let's get right into the review. The show opens up with Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. They come out to the ring. Liv does her thing, is, welcome to Monday Night Morgan. Everybody doing that. It used to be Monday Night Rollins. I guess now it's Monday Night Morgan. And only the stars of the highest caliber can claim the show for themselves. And Liv gives a solid promo. Like I've been saying, her wrestling and mic work has been getting better. Liv cuts a solid promo setting up first a match with Nikki Bella that would have certainly taken place at the upcoming Evolution PLE. We know because they showed us a video package, and if you saw Raw last week on my review, you know that she was getting into a rivalry with Nikki Bella. They was working something in. They were definitely going to be doing work with Nikki Bella. That would have certainly took place at the Evolution PLE. Secondly, she was setting up a title program with Io Sky. As I said at the beginning of the show, nothing really happened. This was the only time any form of storylines were progressed or moved forward. However, unfortunately, Liv suffered a shoulder injury in her match later on against Io Sky, so none of this is going to come to fruition. We're not going to see Liv Morgan take the title off of Io Sky, which I'm almost certain she was going to do. Io Sky has not been doing anything with the title, so Io Sky has not defended her title since WrestleMania. And this is not a knock at Io. I blame nobody but Triple H, WWE creative. Poor booking, poor writing, bad storytelling. You have your women's world title champion there. She isn't doing nothing. She usually just in the background, in the back somewhere. But she came out to the ring tonight because Liv Morgan called her out. Liv Morgan starts her promo by talking trash about Nikki Bella, said, you know, I beat Nikki Bella up, and now she's just at home sitting on her couch watching me as she should be. She said she was mad at Io for saying Nikki Bella paved the way. She said Nikki Bella ain't paved nothing. I paved my own way, and that I'm the greatest women's tag champion of all time. She's a women's world heavyweight champion. Liv Morgan runs this division. Rhea Ripley is mommy. She's the super baby face, but Liv Morgan is that heel. I don't think Liv Morgan is out of place calling it her division because we have Becky and Bayley right there. They're fighting for the mid-card title. WWE was clearly setting Liv Morgan up to go into a program for the Women's World Heavyweight title. But yeah, this is very disappointing, and we want to wish Liv Morgan a speedy recovery on a personal level, but obviously as a fan, this is very disappointing, and I wanted to see Liv Morgan win the belt. I always want to see Liv Morgan win the belt, so I'm pretty sad that that happened, young. So back onto the Io side of things, Liv Morgan tells her, hey man, you know what? You might not want to admit it, but I've beaten you more times than anybody else in this division. So you can just give me the title and I'll take it and I'll be happy. Thank you. Io acts like she may consider it. Obviously, she doesn't. She acts like she's going to hand Liv the title, end up drop kicking her, then kicking her in the face. Liv rolls out the ring. Dom is trying to check on her, and as Dom is checking on her, Io kicks him as well. So, the thing about this promo is Io tried to talk, so I know English is her second language, so I'm not going to hold that against her. And Liv Morgan is just becoming a beast, and this injury just came at the wrong time. I love her swagger. I love the way she carries herself. I love everything about her. I feel like she's found her footing. I think Gianna, the woman behind the character, I think she understands the Liv Morgan character, and she has it down to an art. She has it down to a science now, yo. And just this injury just couldn't come at in the wrong moment. I feel like Liv Morgan was just about to start rocking and rolling, yo. So we're gonna lose Liv to an injury for several months, but we get Asuka. Asuka is coming back. Asuka returned tonight, so I'm happy about that. And the first match is Asuka versus Ivy Now versus Raquel Rodriguez. This was the best match of the show. The only reason why the show didn't get an F, this match bumped the whole show up one grade. It was easily the best match of the show without question. It's a fatal four-way. between Oscar Avinal, Raquel Rodriguez, and Stephanie Vaquero, a fatal four-way Queen of the Ring qualifying match. And the winner will go on to face Alexa Bliss on SmackDown, with the winner of that being obviously the winner. And well, no, because there's also Jade and Roxanne left. So okay. And you already know Asuka is not going to lose her returning match. Let's just get that out of the way first. This is what I'm talking about. Transparent, lazy booking. When you can look at a match and you don't even have to watch the match. You can be like, oh yeah, this person is going to win, yo. And you can look at this match, and like I did last week, you can do the process of elimination. Let's do it. Ivy now never wins. Raquel never wins. These two are jobbers of the highest order, yo. It's true. They are jobbers. I am a huge Raquel Rodriguez fan, and I know my Latina mommy is never going to win. She always loses. Ivy now always loses. Always looks absolutely amazing with her gear, her cornrow, the way she carries herself. She looks freaking phenomenal, but she just doesn't win. As I've spoken on her before, it's her charisma and character and mic that's holding her back. Wrestling and look, she has it, yo. Asuka is going to win this match, obviously, like I said, but in my mind, I thought it should be Stephanie. I don't know what's going on with Stephanie. It seems like she's getting cooled off a little bit. She came to the main roster. She hasn't really won anything. She's been involved in a lot of matches, and she's lost a few, but I don't know. I would be pushing Stephanie. It is what it is, yo. The match is pretty good, though. There's a lot of action, and the pacing is smooth. It's not a short match, but it's not a long match either. But and that's what I mean by the pacing. The match just flows, and you don't get bored. You don't get like, good Lord, I wish this would be over. It is pretty action-packed, pretty fast-paced, and it keep moving. The match starts off. You got Asuka and Stephanie team up on Raquel early, hitting her with punches and kicks, and a double super kick to the head absolutely leveled Raquel. Then Asuka and Stephanie go at it to a stalemate because they are very evenly matched. Like I said, I will be pushing Stephanie, but that's neither here nor there. Ivy now and Raquel get involved, and Raquel was able to take Asuka to the muscle Oscar to a corner, while Ivy does the same to Stephanie in the other corner. Then Ivy tries to get involved with what Raquel had going on over there, and Raquel was able to snatch her up off her feet and muscle her, push her across the ring while still holding Asuka in the other corner with her other arm. Stephanie and Ivy recover from that just in time to get hit with a flying Asuka because Raquel has literally lifted her up off her feet and tossed her, yo. It looked like a powerbomb or a razor's edge or something, but she literally tossed her into the other three, taking all three of them out. And, you know, that is one of the things that I like about Raquel. She is a powerhouse in every sense of the word. I don't know why WWE doesn't use her. Raquel Gonzalez is it's booked way differently than Raquel Rodriguez, yo. So the matches continued after the break. Stephanie is 1v3 soloing the other competitors. There's a Dragon School for Asuka that really fucks her up. Messes her up. A Meteora for Raquel. Ivy now get hit with the Devil's Kiss. Raquel breaks it up before Stephanie could finish it, and then she is also getting positioned for a Devil's Kiss, but she's fighting it. She lifts Stephanie up. Stephanie is on her shoulder. She's unrelenting. Raquel tries to slip out the ring, but again, Stephanie is unrelenting, and she eventually works Raquel into a position for a Devil Kiss on the apron. Rocks her with that. Then she sets her up for a springboard crossbody, takes her out. Now it's Asuka versus Stephanie again. Again, they stalemate. They're just can't really do anything to each other. They countering each other. They wrestle well with each other. Then Ivy comes in and absolutely murders Stephanie with a kick. Just kicked her to sleep right out the corner. Looked like MVP's play a boot or a haluva kick, but whatever it was, it rocked Stephanie. And then Oscar and Ivy is brawling around the ring. Oscar notices Raquel trying to re-enter the ring. Oscar knocks her off the apron with her butt, but that leaves her vulnerable for Ivy. Ivy nails her with her German suplex, Then all four competitors are back in the ring. They're wrestling to the corner. Raquel gets them up on her shoulder. I don't know what she was going to do, or was it just a setup for this move? Oscar comes off the top rope, drop kicks them both off of Raquel's shoulder. Then Oscar is on a roll with her kicks and punches and strikes. She is going to town on Stephanie and Ivy. Now they get taken out. Then Oscar solos Raquel. She absolutely dogs her. Raquel is down. Ivy is recovered, and she tries to get down, and Oscar destroys her with a knee strike. Then it's her and Stephanie again. And for the third time, they're evenly matched in so many regards. Oscar shrugs off most of the offense that Stephanie is putting on her, just kind of no-sells, and it looks like she's hawking up like Hulk Hogan, and tear a series of massive headbutts. It's finally able to do some damage to Oscar. Stephanie tries to create separation by running the rope, but Oscar follows her in with a body blow, and then Oscar tries to do the same, run the rope to the other side, but Stephanie follows her in with a knee strike, Then she proceeds to out-wrestle and overwhelm Oscar. I'm gonna say it again, I would be pushing Stephanie, but I'm not booking this, Somewhere in this, she's able to get Oscar into that sit-out double knee strike that she does, and it always looks brutal. But when Stephanie comes down, she's also favoring her own knee. I don't remember when it happened, but obviously she tweaked her knee at some point like this. But Oscar is rocked from those knee strikes. She goes for the pin. Ivy now intervenes, breaks up the pinfall, hits Oscar with her finisher, which I do not know the name of it. Stephanie Vaquer makes it back in to break up that pinfall attempt. Tosses Ivy now out the ring and gets rocked by a big boot from Raquel, and Raquel lifts her up for earth-shattering Tejana bomb. It was one of the better ones I've seen. It joint looked brutal. Raquel was going for a pinfall, a pin that would have surely ended this match, but Mommy pulls her tail right out the ring just like Raquel did to her. Rhea Ripley pulls Raquel out the ring, plants her with a riptide on the outside, picks her up, rolls her back in the ring where she's prone, and falls victim to another ass impact from Oscar. Oscar picks up the 3, just like I said she would, just like everybody should have known. Oscar wins, and advances in the Queen of the Ring tournament, And that's just how it goes. Like I say, process of elimination. Two of the competitors in this match never wins. The third competitor hasn't won anything yet, but keep your eye on Stephanie. If they don't screw her over, she should be something. So it was obvious that Oscar was winning. Then you get a backstage segment with the Judgment Day. Dom is finally acting like a man. He's finally telling Finn, like, hey, man, I don't think you should be out there with J.D. McDonough tonight. How about you just stay in the back? Like, just stay in the back. JD was like, well, you got me this match. We was trying to go for the tag titles. You got me fighting Finn. Dom is just like, look, man, just fight him tonight. We gonna get the belts later. We're going to get back to the tag belts later. Finn suggests that he goes out with JD. So we're going to see. It's something going on in the Judgment Day. We've been know it. This is Triple H long-term booking. They're going to turn. Finn is going to turn. We all know it. Let's just get to the turn already, young. Like, come on. Then next we get Gunther, A steaming hot pile of mess, young. Just absolute trash, The most boring champion there ever was that nobody could care less about. Gunther comes out and he says a bunch of nothing. Jay was the better man. He got him, but he's the better man on any other night. I don't care, man. Goldberg comes out and I don't care, man. It's 2025. I'm sorry, man. I don't care about Goldberg, yo. Sorry. He was great in the 90s. He was great, NWO. Like, this is how long ago this was. Like, I don't care, man. I don't care. They're having a match at Saturday Night Main Event for the World Heavyweight title. I don't care. I'm going to move it right along to the next match that I don't care about. A throwaway match between AJ Styles and JD McDonough, because AJ Styles keep packing up Judgment Day members. Is that's Judgment Day handling him for Dom. Nobody cares, man. AJ Styles is pushing 50, and not that he can't go in the ring, he still looks amazing. He can still hit his moves. He wins this match off of what they've been calling the Flash Styles Clash or something, because now he's hitting his Styles Clash out of nowhere. He can hit it from anywhere now. He should have been doing this most of his career. I would definitely like to see AJ Styles in the world title picture before he retires, but AJ Styles in the mid-card position, feuding with Judgment Day, feuding with Dom, who hasn't done nothing with the Intercontinental title, who is probably one of the worst Intercontinental champions ever, is not hitting. Nobody cares. Moving on to the next segment, it is Bayley and Becky in the ring together. Quick little promo. Nothing major here. I thought Becky would come out. I thought Bayley would come out. With more fire, more intensity, more aggression, more anger towards what Becky did to her, cost her a match at WrestleMania. But actually, she comes out and she cuts the typical babyface, happy-go-lucky, inspirational promo. She's not doing it for herself. She does it for the people. She just don't do it for WrestleMania moments. She does it for each and every one of you, all you people in the arena. Whatever. Bayley and Becky are two of my personal goats, so I'm not going to tune their promo out. But for me to sit here and lie and say this was very entertaining, it wasn't. It was almost boring. You know what I'm saying? Becky comes out and she's hot on the mic, but her and Bayley is not playing well. Like, I don't know. Everything Becky says is true though, as far as she don't know what it's like to work anymore, because she's Becky Balboa, she's Becky Two Belt, she's big time Becky Lynch. She does not know what it's like to work for it anymore. And yes, nobody cared when she took Bayley out. Matter of fact, we cheered for her. And then, like I said in the video, nobody cared when she took Lyra out. Again, we cheered for her. Matter of fact, when she kept delivering manhandle slams, the crowd kept chanting one more. So the whole dynamic is messed up because the fans don't know whether to cheer or boo, heels and face, and it's just all over the place. This promo could have been better, but I do want to see the match. I'm a huge fan of Bayley, Becky, the Four Horsewomen. Those are my favorites, my goats of women's wrestling. So I'm going to be excited for this match, but this promo was not where it's at. It was mid. At the end, Becky tries to slap Bayley. Bayley dodges it and punches Becky in the face, and they close the promo with that. Backstage, Bayley is saying, she sees Lyra after Nick Aldis gives her a match for the Intercontinental title. Lyra is back there, and Becky was like, Bayley's like, I don't have nothing to do with this. I'm going to take the match. Obviously, I'm just trying to take care of myself. And Lyra says, yeah, and if you win, I'll be just trying to take care of myself as well. And that was one of the other things that happened backstage. Nick Aldis also gave AJ Styles a match for the Intercontinental title. AJ Styles took the title after he beat JD McDonough. Finn came out. Then they tried to do whatever they were going to do, but, AJ escaped and took the belt with him. He gives it back to Nick Aldis, and he's going to get his match next week. And I hope he wins, because this has been boring with Dom. It's ridiculous. To be honest, the match that Dom won it in, I really thought they were going to give it to Penta, but whatever. Next is the match that Liv Morgan got injured in. It was supposed to be Liv Morgan versus Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane has been picking up wins as of late, and she's had a bunch of momentum. I'm pretty sure this was going to be Liv stomping that momentum. I'm sure Liv was going to win this match, but instead she was injured in the opening seconds of the match. Their first exchange, she got injured in. Quite unfortunate. Speedy recovery to Liv. She's gonna miss several weeks of this. They said 12 weeks or something like that. So it's unfortunate all around. Next, you get Sami Zayn backstage with Karrion Kross. And Karrion Kross is doing the same old thing he always does. Talking down to Sami, telling him how he's crap, telling him how he ain't nothing. He says you're going to lose from Randy Orton because that's all you do is lose, basically. And this must have struck a nerve with Sami because Sami cuts an impassionate promo, very quick but very passionate. Calls Kross a coward, says he's always in the back, lurking in the shadows and talking in riddles because maybe he doesn't have what it takes to cut it, out here in the ring. Sami was like, I'm going to go out to the ring, and if I win or if I lose, no matter what happens, I always have the courage to stand up, and I'm going to come back. And he was like, and right now, the most important thing to me is the King of the Ring. That is my number one priority. But after the King of the Ring, I'm going to go to Nick Aldis. I'm going to request a match with you, and we're going to finally have it out. And Karrion Kross only says, about time, and walk away. And it's about time they start doing something with Karrion Kross because he is getting over. But oh no, if they didn't have plans for Karrion Kross, it don't matter how over he gets because, LA Knight. But after this, it is the main event. And let me tell you this. Jay makes his intro first, and with or without a world title, it is very clear who is the most over guy on the roster. It's Jay Uso, without question. And it also tells you, without question, that Jay Uso is going to win this match. How do I know? I'll tell you. 1. Rusev is a jobber. That's what he's in this match for, to do the job. So is Sheamus. So is Bronson Reed. Since Bronson Reed has came back, he has won no matches. Since Sheamus has come back, he's only beaten A-Town Down Under. And since Rusev has come back, he's only beaten Otis and Tozawa. So these are 3 guys that do nothing. They do nothing in WWE. They contribute nothing to the show. They're just here for bodies. They just here to lose. Do you really think any of these guys even deserve a world title? Why would Sheamus deserve a world title? Why would Bronson Reed? Why would Rusev at this point? They've been booked. They've been doing nothing. They've been booked into oblivion. They lose matches or they beat up lower tier jobbers than themselves. Obviously, Jey Uso is going to win. It's just how we got to point A to point B. The match is almost 30 minutes long. It's boring. Nothing really happens. Ridiculous match. Sammy looked like not Sammy. He's not even in this shit. But Braun Breaker ends up interfering in the match, and this prompts Sammy to come out. Sammy comes out. He attacks Braun Breaker. Fights him off. He goes for a helluva kick, but Braun Breaker picks him up, tosses him through the announce table. More overbooked nonsense. Penta comes out. He jumps over the top rope. He takes out Braun Breaker. And then you got Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed in the ring. He hits Jey Uso with a Samoan drop. Goes to the top rope for a tsunami. Then LA Knight appears, pushes him off the top. Jay hits Bronson Reed with a spear and 2 Uso splashes to pick up the win, to nobody's surprise. Like, why would he lose? Why would Jey Uso lose this match? To 3 jobbers, to 3 guys that does nothing in the company. I don't understand. Even Triple H has to be, this is arrogance and idiocy at its finest. Because he knows good and daggone well that Bronson Reed does not win matches. He knows good and doggone well that Rusev has only fought Otis and Tozawa. And he knows good and goddamn well Sheamus has only beaten A-Town Down Under. This show was garbage. It was trash all around. Nothing from your tag team division as usual. Your women's world heavyweight champion only does one thing. Gunther comes out and cuts a stinky promo with Goldberg. He does not wrestle. He does only one thing. Sami Zayn is not wrestling. Seth Rollins is not wrestling. There's no Punk on the show, even though I'm pretty sure he signed to Raw and not SmackDown. Just all around bad show. Seth Rollins comes out and act like he's going to attack Jay, but then Cody comes out and stops that from happening. They have a stare down. That is it. That is all. This show was bad. WWE continues to fail its audience. It continues to fail the actual WWE universe. It continues to put out bad content that nobody should have to watch. Nobody should have to sit through 3 hours of this mess. This is trash. This is garbage. This is doo-doo. It's terrible. What WWE is putting forward is terrible. So I have to stop saying a step in the right direction, because every time I see something and I give it a C and I'm like, okay, this looks like we can move forward with this, WWE does a 180 and goes back to being absolutely unwatchable. Raw was terrible. I'm going to give this show a D-. It would be an F if it wasn't for the women's title and Liv Morgan in the beginning. But the women's fatal 4-way saved this show from being an F. It is what it is. It's bad. The promos were not entertaining. The promos were not good. The matches were not good. They were not entertaining. Nothing about this episode of Raw was even remotely memorable, meaningful, or entertaining. There you have it, guys. This is the Black Patriot. This is the real Cut My Music Wrestling. I will be here. I will always be here. The voice of the voiceless, the voice in the dark, the century god in the wrestling realm from BS. Guys, remember, like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Be safe. Peace out.